Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are watching this, it should be Wednesday, September the 15th, which means that today is officially my birthday. I have taken off of work, probably gonna take myself out to lunch, might do a little shopping, you know, that type of vibe is what I'm gonna be on because my husband works in the school system, so he will be at work and he, you know, they just started back. So, whatever, I'm just gonna be at home, and I invite and welcome all of you to wish me a happy birthday because, you know, I do love that. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. And this video is being pre-recorded, but I wanted to talk about it on today specifically because I feel like that's just what I wanted to do. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about some ways that my husband and I experience luxury while living on a budget. If you're new here, then you should know that we recently joined the FIRE movement. I say recently because we just joined it this year, and we are trying to retire in like 20 years before the traditional retirement age. So before that, if we possibly can. That pretty much just means that we have a really high savings goal that we try to reach each month or each year, and therefore half of our income, if not more, goes to savings and hitting our financial goals, which does leave us with half of our income, but it definitely doesn't allow for us to ball out by any means because that's just not a real thing. Also, we want to actually increase our savings rate. Like, we want to continue to work to increase the amount that we're saving, or the percent that we're saving each month. Again, none of that leaves room for balling out. So basically, over the last several years, we have found ways that really just make us feel like we're not living on so strict of a budget. Just really allow us to experience some luxury while we're on this journey, which could potentially be lifelong. So if you want to hear about any of that, tips that we use and tips that you maybe can use too, then please keep watching. So the first thing that we do is we allow luxury into our lives. I feel like sometimes when you're on a financial journey or you're trying to pay off debt or save, it can be frowned upon to spend money on, you know, excessive amounts of money on things that are wants and not really needs. And I would agree with that. However, I feel like this is a lifelong journey, and especially it's gonna be a pretty serious journey for the next 10, 15 years, or whenever we do hit, you know, multi-millionaire status, because that's what we're going to need before we can retire early so that we can live off of that money. So we're going to need a decent amount of money saved up before we can retire. So while we're on this journey, I feel like there are still things that I want, stuff that I don't really need, but I feel like we should be able to get those things. Now, my husband, I will say, he is way more frugal than me, and probably, I'm not going to speak for him necessarily, but he probably wouldn't care about a lot of these things. In fact, I know that he would not, but some of these things are maybe just unique to me, but also some of these things are things that we both do. But one of the things is, like I mentioned, or like I was trying to mention, is actually allowing luxury into our lives. So just as an example, we try to invite some type of luxury into our lives at least once a month, and we typically do this in the form of a date night. So like our upcoming date night, we're going to go to Bonefish Grill, which I'm anticipating $100 bill, if not more. And also we're going to go to a concert, which is kind of luxurious because concerts cost a lot of money. And so that's going to be our one luxury experience that is unique to us for this month in September. We'll probably do something similar in October, probably not a concert, but still just like, you know, a day trip to Atlanta, or like spending the day in Atlanta or Charlotte, North Carolina, or just doing something that might be more on the luxurious side of things that we normally wouldn't do because we don't really want to spend our money in that way, but we do like to enjoy these things. And so that is just one of the ways that we actually live life luxuriously on a budget. Number two is maintaining our home, and I'm really talking about like touching up our paint and taking care of our lawn and all of that stuff outdoors, and decorating and furnishing our home and all of that kind of stuff. Like, that's pretty much what I'm talking about when I talk about maintaining our home. Just having a home that we are keeping up with and, you know, trying to maintain so that it holds its value and we don't have to spend money in the future trying to repair something that we let go, or, you know, just having to spend excess money. That is something that we feel like is luxurious. So it doesn't really matter, you know, like what year your house was built or whatever the case is. What really matters is how you're maintaining it. Of course, that's just pretty much what it comes down to. You'll see one house built in 1980 and another house built in 1980, and they could look completely different because they aren't really maintained. And so for us, we kind of equate that to luxury. Mainly we equate that to maintaining our home so that we don't like let it run into the ground, and so we reap the benefits monetarily in the future because of that, pretty much. So again, it doesn't really matter what year your house was built or how old it is or whatever the case is. Normally, whenever we're talking about luxury, whenever you think of the word luxury, somebody's luxury home, you don't think of a home that is falling apart. The next thing that we do is we organize, declutter, and clean the inside and the outside on a regular basis. Again, you typically don't equate luxury to filth or falling apart, and so one of the things that we do regularly each week is that we kind of take a scan, look around, see what needs to be clean, and then we divide up our duties, and then we tackle the to-do list. I normally do more of the organizing because my husband isn't very organized. I also do much of the decluttering because my husband is a person who doesn't like to give up items even if he doesn't really want them. He thinks that he might need them again in the future, so he doesn't really do too much decluttering, but I am typically the one who does those things. And I just feel like coming home every day, walking through the doors, I'll even do like a morning cleanup, but walking through the doors and the home is clean and orderly and tidy and I can find things and whatever the case is, I feel like that is a luxury experience. Again, it doesn't really matter what type of house you have. If you even have a house, it could be an apartment, whatever. It doesn't matter your dwelling. It really just, what matters is when you walk through that door, are you like, ugh, or are you like what is your experience? That's really what it comes down to. Luxury to me is an experience. And so when I walk through my door and everything is tidy and orderly for the most part, that to me equates luxury. Another thing that I like to do is bring in the outdoors. So plants, we have some plants, bringing in some greenery. That just screams luxury to me. Similarly, fresh flowers. When I'm ordering our groceries from Walmart, I'll literally just add some random bouquet to the order and then they'll bring out my flowers and I then, put them in a vase. And I'm doing my little gardening or whatever, want to be gardening while I'm maintaining all of my indoor plants and whatnot. And to me, that is just a real luxurious experience. Fresh flowers, greenery, plants, thriving, luxury. The next one is really important to me. I don't know that my husband cares, but fragrance. Again, when I walk through that door, what smells am I being hit with? I use room sprays, linen sprays, air fresheners, the air wick plug-ins, those types of things. Every inch of the home, for the most part, has a unique fragrance and it all is great for me. I also love candles, of course, so I'm burning candles. Again, a nice aroma just is the epitome of luxurious. You do not equate luxury with stank. My next tip kind of goes back to decorating and, furnishing your home. And one thing that we've implemented is putting one nicer piece in each room, because I'm not spending thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on furniture. I'm just not doing it because I just feel like I can't. I know that sometimes if you buy like a really nicer piece, then it'll probably last longer, but I'd rather just buy a $500 couch and buy that over and over every 10 years or whatever than to buy a $5,000 couch, a $10,000 couch that's gonna last me potentially a lifetime. I just can't. So I just would rather buy inexpensive pieces. And one thing that we do though is try to add nice pieces here and there, particularly in each room, because if there's one eye-catching nice piece in the room, I feel like that kind of negates everything else. The luxurious piece that I'm aiming for our living room currently is the coffee table situation. I mentioned that I might even do 2 coffee tables. They're relatively expensive, but I feel like that's what's going to, because they're so unique, that's going to catch the eye, not other people's eyes, because not a lot of people come here, but my eye. And that's going to be, just a showstopper whenever someone walks into the room. And then again, we kind of have the same vibe going on in some of the other rooms, not like my other office or not like the spare room or my husband's man cave, but more so some of the rooms that we frequent more often. So that is definitely a tip that we've been trying to abide by. My second tip, which kind of piggybacks off of that one, is to purchase secondhand items or even to DIY projects. We are not really DIYers, although we do plan to do a couple of DIYs, which are really going to elevate the home, like some paneling and stuff like that. But for the most part, I normally just buy secondhand. Facebook Marketplace is where you can find me pretty much every day. I'm searching for furniture or just really those pieces that are high end, but I don't really want to pay high end for them. Even my iPhone 12 Pro Max came from Facebook Marketplace. I need to do a Facebook Marketplace video because there are a lot of tips and tricks that I suggest whenever purchasing electronics or really just anything off of Facebook Marketplace, especially electronics, because they can be expensive. But yeah, that video will be coming at some point. But I buy pretty much everything secondhand from Facebook Marketplace. That does not hurt our bank, but it does add to the overall quality of, you know, life. So quality of my pictures or the quality of our living room or our home or whatever the case is. The next thing that we do is we use credit card points or even cash back websites to get free money. I then turn around and use that money to buy things that I normally wouldn't buy. So this here is just like a fancy cup situation. That is something that I purchased with credit card points, or, you know, even other things like that. Just buying little things here and there that, like cleaning products. I know I recently purchased a new cleaning product with credit card points. Just things that we typically wouldn't spend our hard-earned money on, but things that we can purchase to just, you know, be a little fancy and to be a little luxurious. My next tip, or the thing that we do, is we invite in luxury dining to our home. So whenever we want to purchase steak or have steak, which is pretty expensive and kind of luxurious, we will buy steak and we will make a steak dinner at home, and we'll have a whole vibe situation, candles. We'll have our dinner napkins and our nice cutlery, our nice wine glass. We actually bring that luxury fine dining type of situation into our homes, which I highly recommend. My next tip is to get samples of different things, particularly like samples of makeup or perfume or just luxury items, high-end items that you otherwise wouldn't really want to spend your money on. That is something that I enjoy doing when going to Sephora or whatever the case is. So I highly recommend that. That way, if you want to smell luxurious, you'll have a little sample and you can smell luxurious like that. The next tip, which can be debatable, is we use pretty much only white bedding, white linens like dinner napkins, white towels, white hand towels, white bath towels. We use white for everything. Now, this can be debatable, but honestly, I equate it to like a fancy hotel experience. Is luxury, getting in the shower and out of the shower, or in the bed and out of the bed. And honestly, it helps us to see dirt far more easily. I will say we have a pretty good setup with our new washer and dryer, and it's pretty fancy, and it does a really good job with whites, all laundry, but especially whites. And we're able to maintain our linens that way, and we can even see when they're dingy and whatnot and they need to be thrown out. But I just really feel like since we can't frequent hotels, we probably stay at like 1 or 2 hotels per year, then it's a way to kind of bring the outside in. Another thing that we do is a relaxing night in, which might be the whole candlelit dinner situation, but it also might be a pampering session where we're doing like face masks and facial stuff, and we're doing lip scrubs and things to kind of soak our hands, like hand masks and feet masks. We like to bring that luxury spa type of vibe into our home, and we'll have a night in, which is going to be far less. All the stuff that I just named is like $50, as opposed to going out to, you know, eat out or to go to a spa or whatever. That's going to be a pretty penny. So we just do all of that from the comfort of our home. Nothing says I have a little money like donating money or giving away money. Also, we most certainly do not want to wait until we're completely debt free or we've reached financial independence to donate money or to give money or help out people in need. So whenever we have the opportunity, whenever it arises, I love to seize the opportunity. Sometimes at work we'll do like these little secret swaps, like Secret Santa, and instead of doing the limit, which might be 20, I might flex a little and do 100. And I just feel like nothing screams I got a little money than actually sharing your money. So that's another way that we like to live. That's the epitome of living luxuriously on a budget. The next thing that we do is we save money for luxurious items or experiences. So if we want to go on a nicer vacation, if we want to purchase a nicer X, Y, or Z computer, whatever, we actually save up for these luxury pieces so that we can purchase them. I highly recommend saving up cash for those luxury pieces choices, because then you'll know after you've saved up the 1,000, the 1,500, 3,000, 4,000, whatever, you'll really know if you want to let that money go, that hard-earned money, let it go on a luxury experience, or if you want to do something else with that money, like, you know, invest it or continue to save it or repurpose it, you know, upgrade something. You'll be able to kind of figure that out and really know if you want that luxury item or experience. So I highly recommend doing that for a multitude of reasons. Either you're going to actually purchase it and allow yourself that luxurious piece or item or experience, or you might retreat at the end of it. So it serves a dual purpose. The next tip that I have, or something that we do, is instead of taking like one big trip where we can like flex and ball out, we actually like to not do that. So instead of taking a $2,000 trip, we like to take little mini trips here and there. And I feel like nothing screams luxury than traveling and being able to experience new food, new cultures, so on and so forth. So with a $2,000 yearly budget, we would for sure not go on one trip. We would probably go on like 10 little baby trips that cost like $200, $300, you know, doing new things that we've never done, whitewater rafting and skiing and so on and so forth. That is more of our vibe. You normally won't catch us going to any kind of luxurious place. The only time we've ever really done that is for our honeymoon, actually. All of that to say, sure, if you want to take an expensive trip, definitely do save up for that and do that. But also just understand that you can allow yourself to experience luxury way more if you did like little small trips or experiences over one big trip or experience. So that was 15-ish ways that we experience luxury on a budget. Things that we do that I equate with luxury while living on a budget or living within a budget. I would love to know how you experience luxury on a budget. Also, feel free to share what your definition of luxury is, because for me, it's really just an experience. It's really not like an item that I equate to luxury. For me, it's really just like an experience pretty much. So leave comments down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.